Hello friends, I am Sneha Savla. I am an audiologist and speech language pathologist. Welcome to Sparkling Activities. On this YouTube channel, we share different creative and innovative activities using simple and easily available household objects, and we post a video every Wednesday. So we are going to continue the concept of textures or feeling the sensations for today's video, and I am going to share 4 different activities using this concept. So let's get started. So for very first activity, as you can see, I have this toy which is a soft toy. So the texture wise it's very soft, whereas this dog is little hard. So for this activity we really do not require any objects, but rather we are going to explore our own body. So we are going to try and find out things or body parts that are soft versus hard. For example, your hair is very soft, whereas the bone over here, over the chin, is something which is hard. So in this manner, your child has to feel his body and tell you what is soft and hard. Another example could be that the eyebrows are very soft, whereas the nails are harder. Now this was in terms of the natural structures or the body parts. If we talk about accessories or something that we are wearing, then you will see that this watch is something which is hard, whereas the dress that I am wearing is something which is very soft in its sensation. So this is a very simple activity where a child gets to understand his body and his body parts in a much better manner. Along with that, he also understands the concept of soft versus hard. So this was activity number 1. Now let's move on to activity number 2. For activity number 2, we are going to teach the concept of smooth versus rough to our children. So for this particular activity, I have taken this makeup brush. Along with that, I have taken this toothbrush. Now both these brushes are soft, but there is a difference. This is soft and at the same time very smooth. So you can make this particular brush to be felt on your child's palm and he has to tell you that this is very smooth. Whereas if he takes the toothbrush and he feels the bristles of the toothbrush, then he would see that yes, it is a little softer. It is not hard. Like this stem of the brush is really hard, but the bristles are soft. But they are not as soft as the makeup brush bristles. So these brushes are a little on the rough side. In a similar manner, I have taken 2 different types of papers. So I have this velvet paper over here where we have stuck the velvet cloth on this. Now when you feel this sensation, it is something which is very smooth and something which relaxes your mind. As opposed to this, when you feel this particular paper, which is more like a grass or a sand paper, when you feel it, it is not really smooth. It is very rough. You can also hear the sound where you are moving your palm over this paper. So a very simple activity where in a very practical manner you are teaching your child the concept of smooth versus rough. So this was activity number 2. Now let's move on to activity number 3. For activity number 3, I am taking this hand puppet over here, and in this puppet I am going to keep some objects, so that you are not really able to see what object you are going to take out. So I have kept 3 different objects over here in this hand puppet. Without looking inside, I just have to take out one object, perceive it, try to register what is that object by just the feeling of the sensations. So I am going to suppose now take out one object from this, and just by feeling that particular object, I will have to tell you that this is going to be a cloth clip. So yes, this is a cloth clip. In a similar manner, you can place different objects in this. You can also take a polythene bag which is not really transparent. Now I am taking the second object and I am feeling it. So I can feel that it is a finger ring. So yes, this is a finger ring. So basically what you have to do is, without looking at the objects, you just have to feel them. You have to understand what that object is and then recognize the object. So you can put different variations in this, like you can put some grains, you can put alphabets, you can put shapes, and this will turn out to be a very fun activity. So this was our activity number 3. Now let's move on to activity number 4. For activity number 4, I have taken these things. So one, I have the peacock feather over here with me. Along with that, what I also have is a shuttlecock. Now these are different objects that have a mix of textures, or basically a blend of textures. So if you see the stick over here, or the stem, is something which is really hard, but if you feel these feathers, they are very soft. So basically this particular feather cannot be made only by a soft texture. It has to have a hard texture along with it. In a similar manner, if you see this shuttlecock that we use for playing badminton, you will see that the bottom part is something which is hard, or the lines in the middle are hard, whereas there are these feathers over here which are really soft. So in such a manner, you can make your child understand that there are some objects which have to have a mixture of hard versus soft, or smooth versus rough in the same object. And you can make this as a treasure hunt activity where your child goes and searches for such objects in your house. For example, one object could be the corn, the sweet corn that we have. So the corns are a little harder, whereas they have some fibrous roots over there, or they have some fibrous things over there. So those are going to be very soft. So in such a manner, you can try telling your child to go and search for different objects. So this was our activity based on the concept of different textures just in one single object. So please do like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel Sparkling Activities. I will see you all next Wednesday with another object and interesting activity.